Hey guys, if you want to see this week's wishlist surpass, where I'll be filling you in on all the new makeup products I'm interested in getting and what products I'm going to be taking a pass on, then keep on watching. Alright guys, so let's just get right into it. We have to start with Pat McGrath because you know my love for Pat McGrath is real. So she's coming out with a whole new eyeshadow palette, one of her 10-pan palettes that she has. So this is a new addition to the range. And her 10-pan palettes are super expensive. They're $125, and I've never in my life spent $125 for a 12 eyeshadows. I know it's Pat McGrath, and you know, her shadows are famous for being super expensive. So I do have Pat McGrath's La Vie en Rose palette because I did want to test out her shadows to see what all the hype was about. And I could kind of, even though it's a lot, at least it's less than this, and I know it's only for 6 shadows, but this was a nice way for me to test out her shadows at a cheaper price point. And unfortunately, I love them. So her shadows are just as good as any and all of her other products I've tried. So that's kind of bad news for my wallet, but I don't know. She's just a genius, I think. But basically, you guys want to know if I'm going to get this. So this palette is going to be the Mothership 5 palette, and it's the Bronze Seduction palette. So it's pretty much kind of a neutral, warm lover's dream because you can make a bunch of neutral looks with it. And of course, there's a gorgeous bronze, a gorgeous gold. But the two colors that really stood out to me above all else was this kind of gorgeous, bright red shade in there, and also this really kind of nice expensive looking rose gold shade. So but all the shades seriously look amazing. And I mean, the gold shade in the La Vie en Rose palette that I have is pretty much, I think, the best gold eyeshadow shade I've ever used. The amount of pigmentation and shine and metallicness, it kind of looks like you have a wet liquid eyeshadow on. So I know that the gold in here would probably be just as good. And the exterior of the eyeshadow palette, of course, has the cool kind of graphic designs that Pat McGrath is known for on her makeup packaging. So this kind of stays true to that theme. And just, it's really pretty. I love the packaging with the red. It's just super edgy, super beautiful. And the entire component of this eyeshadow palette, I mean, as with any of her other products, it's just art, pure art in my opinion. So, but will that make me want to get this for $125? No. I'm not. Even though, you know, this is the 112 pan palette that I know I would get the most use out of, that I could probably use every day until it runs out and just use this one palette every day until the end of the year, which I know is not what I would do, but because I love trying various palettes, but I know the shades in this I would definitely get use out of. So that's why it kind of makes me really kind of want it. But $125, it's just too steep for me. The only way I'll get this is if it's during the Sephora VIB sale in November. So I will wait until November to make a decision to see if I will in fact get this or not. We'll see how I feel in November when that sale arrives. But this just looks kind of glorious, gorgeous, pretty, wonderful. Just, I don't know how many adjectives I can think of to kind of sing praises on this eyeshadow palette of Pat McGrath's. And I didn't tell you yet, but it's going to be released on September 7th. So if you guys have the extra cash to purchase this, then it looks quite amazing. Alright, so now let's go from that expensive palette down to a more affordable drugstore palette. So next up is the new Sodapop palette, eyeshadow palette from Maybelline. Now, it just looks super cute, super fun. It has those neutrals, those warm browns, some golds, and that pop of purple. And just because of the color choices in there and how it's the whole layout and the size of the palette, it really does remind me of a Too Faced Peanut Butter and Jelly palette, which I love. I adore that palette. I've gotten so much use out of it. I just really, really love that. It's just perfect for traveling, and every shade is pigmented, it's easy to blend, and it's one of my favorite smaller palettes. And the whole packaging of it too, in that tin with the piece of toast, and oh my god, it's super adorable. And because I love that palette so much, I was really just kind of like staring at this and thinking, oh my gosh, it's so pretty. But I do already have the Too Faced Peanut Butter and Jelly palette, so I don't need this. And also, you know, Maybelline shadows aren't known for being very good. I personally have never tried any Maybelline eyeshadow palettes. I just haven't heard good things about them. For drugstore eyeshadow palettes, I love Wet n Wild palettes. They are worth it. They're amazing. For me, like, Wet n Wild is just where it's at, or for comparable prices, ColourPop. So Wet n Wild or ColourPop, that's kind of where my heart lies with kind of drugstore prices. But yeah, this palette is out now if you want to get it, test it out, try it out, let me know what you think of it. I'm curious about Maybelline eyeshadows. But yeah, I'm just going to take a pass on it. I already have my Too Faced Peanut Butter and Jelly palette. It has very, very similar colors, similar vibes, so I'm not going to get this. Alright, next up is Nars. So let's talk about their holiday collection. So far, there have been 2 releases from their holiday collection that you can purchase on Barney's online. And they will mail these items to you in October. So you can pre-order them now, and then they will mail them to you in October. So I think there will be more items in this holiday collection, but so far you can just purchase these 2 at the moment. So one item is a highlighter palette, and has 3 shades. There's kind of a light pink shade, a peachy champagne shade, and then kind of like a soft rose gold shade. And the shades look fine and all, just kind of is giving me the kind of like MAC, the MAC kind of hyper real powdered highlighter palette kind of vibes. And that's fine. Like, if you don't have the MAC version of it, I think this would kind of, it seems like kind of the equivalent of that. But one thing that makes this palette a work of art, in my opinion, is the exterior packaging. It's this kind of expensive, kind of rich looking red, and when you look at it, it looks like, at least from photos I've seen online, that there's kind of this crystallized kind of look of the palette where it's 3-dimensional, and you can kind of feel, it looks like you have like kind of crystals or geodes on the exterior of that palette, which I think just looks kind of insanely amazing. So if I didn't already own the MAC kind of hyperreal powdered highlighter kind of trio palettes, I have both the pink one and the gold version, then I probably would get this just for the packaging alone, because it just looks like an amazing addition to any kind of makeup lover's collection. But for me, I just don't need it. And the other item that you can purchase right now from their holiday collection is a bullet lipstick, and it's in their kind of Nars Audacious lipstick formula. So it's a bullet lipstick. Nars Audacious lipsticks are very comfortable, a very kind of creamy feeling. They're just really nice. So this color, it's super different. It's black. I've never worn black lipstick. I don't think I can pull it off with my skin tone. Me, I know I would never wear black lipstick. And one cool thing about the lipstick is that after you open up the lipstick, the actual lipstick itself, it's kind of in the shape kind of like that same kind of like crystallized geode kind of that's on top of the highlighter palette. So that's kind of the shape of the lipstick inside once you open up the top of the lipstick and you look at the color of the lipstick. So that's really cool, very inventive. So if you're a collector of makeup and you know you'll get use out of black lipstick, then yeah, this is for you. But for me, I know I would never wear black lipstick. I'm hoping there are other colors that are going to be released in this upcoming holiday collection, and this is just the first of many colors, because the shape of the lipstick, once you take off the cap of the lipstick and look at the lipstick, the black lipstick, the shape, it's just amazing. So it'd be really cool if, you know, there are more shades in this holiday collection in this Audacious formula. But yeah, I'm going to be taking a pass on these 2 items. But I am excited to see what else is going to be released from this Nars holiday collection, because this whole kind of red, geode, red crystal look is just so pretty. So yeah, I'm excited to see what else will be released, but so far these two items I'm not gonna get. Alright, so next up is Jeffree Star. He is going to be releasing these liquid highlighters. They're going to be called Liquid Frosts. And I do love liquid highlighters in addition to powdered highlighters or cream highlighters. I just love highlighters. Normally liquid highlighters are less intense than the powdered versions of highlighters. They just look a lot more natural. But from swatches I've seen online of these liquid highlighters, they seem to be super intense. So I am very curious about these. So for me personally, it just depends on my mood. Sometimes I want a super blinding highlight. Sometimes I want a natural highlight. But more often than not, it's kind of the middle of the road highlight, kind of just a glowy glow from within where people can kind of think like, oh, what is that? Not like, oh, that's definitely a highlight, but more like, whoa, she just looks super kind of radiant, that kind of look. But anyway, so with liquid highlighters, you get more of a natural look, at least from the ones that I own. They kind of sheer out nicely. They look more like a lit from within glow. Powdered highlighters are the ones that you can kind of have like powdered highlighters, or loose highlighters are the ones that really can get that intense kind of glow. Kind of like Kylie Cosmetics loose highlighter I have on now. Look, it's like super blinding. I do love this if I want a blinding highlight. It's in the shade Santorini. And I love Santorini, like the actual island of Santorini. It's one of my all-time favorite places, FYI. And Greek food is amazing. So anyway, back to makeup. When I saw swatches of these on social media, they look to be super intense. So it's kind of the opposite of what you'd expect from a liquid highlight. So I am very curious about it. I'll probably get one shade just to test it out to see what I think of it. Yeah, it just kind of is piquing my curiosity. These will be released on August 24th. Oh, I didn't tell you, there'll be 8 shades. Alright, so let's stick to highlighters. So next up is Ofra Cosmetics. So NikkieTutorials is doing a collab with Ofra, and she's going to be releasing 2 highlighters with Ofra. I think it's going to be called the Electro Glaze kind of collection, and there's going to be 2 shades. And actually, by the time this video goes up, you will already be able to purchase these online on the Ofra website. So if these kind of pique your interest. So there are 2 shades. One shade is more of a kind of a pinkish peachish. One shade has more of a pinkish peach kind of shift to it, and the other shade has kind of more of a bluish a violet shift to it. These are more kind of a ethereal unicorn type of vibe, like fairy princess. It's not the typical highlight you would wear all the time. So I have a certain highlights in my collection already that I can use that are very similar to these 2 shades. And since I don't really use these 2 shades on a daily basis for my makeup looks, I'm not going to get these. But Ofra really does have a very kind of a blinding formula. Their highlighters are very kind of soft, so they're easy to blend into the skin. But they are not for the faint of heart. You can basically see your highlight from space when you wear Ofra highlights. They're kind of comparable to what I have on my face right now from Kylie. So it's a blinding highlight. I will be taking a pass on these highlighters, but they do look really pretty. If you think you'll get a lot of use out of them, or if you need these kinds of colors for your collection that maybe you're lacking these shades, they look really, really nice. And Ofra has very nice kind of intense highlights, but I personally will be taking a pass on these shades. Next up is Melt Cosmetics, and they're going to be releasing a new kind of lipstick collection in 5 shades. So you can purchase them as a set, all the shades in a set for a kind of lower price, or you can purchase the shades individually. So these are matte bullet lipsticks. Some people don't really like Melt Cosmetics matte bullet lipsticks. I don't mind them. Some people are like, oh, they're super drying. They're not creamy, but they are nowhere near as drying as MAC's retro matte bullet lipsticks like Ruby Woo. Like I love the color, but whenever I would wear Ruby Woo, let's say, I just felt like my lips were like the Sahara Desert. They felt so utterly dry. I just couldn't handle it, even though I was in love with the Ruby Woo lipstick shade from MAC. So these matte bullet lipsticks in comparison, oh my gosh, they're like a walk on the beach. I don't have a problem with them at all. But anyway, back to this new release of their role play collection. There are 3 shades in particular that really stand out to me. One is kind of a red with some super pink undertones in there, this bright red. Another one is this kind of mauvey violet shade, a very nice cool toned color. And lastly is this salmon pink shade, and it just looks like the perfect everyday kind of lipstick shade. But seriously, these 3 shades, so pretty. But the other 2 shades are equally as pretty, even though those aren't the ones that stand out to me. There's a nice nude in there, there's a nice mauvey shade in there. So, I mean, honestly, I think they hit a home run with this. It just looks really pretty, all the shades. I don't know if I'm going to be getting any of these. I'm on the fence. I might or I might not, because I do want to save some money. I've been spending way too much money on makeup this month, so I don't know yet. It's an I don't know. All it says is that this role play collection will be coming soon, so there's no release date as of yet. So you have to keep track of their social media. All right, so last up, we have to end with MAC. So MAC and Patrick Cosmetics. MAC and, what am I saying, guys? MAC and Patrick Starr. This is the 4th time now that Patrick Starr has collabed with MAC. This is round 4. And this time he has 2 kind of sets, just like the last 2 times, I believe. So one kit leans more warm and the other kit leans more cool. The cooler kit, it will include a 4-quad eyeshadow. And there is this one really pretty kind of green in there, a standout color. And then you get a liquid lipstick that is a nude liquid lipstick from MAC. And the other kit, the warmer kit, it's more of kind of warm neutrals in there. And then it looks like there's kind of an orangey gold in there. It's kind of hard to tell from pictures online, but that looks really pretty. As you can tell from my eyeshadow today, warm tones are what I'm the most drawn to. But I do like to experiment with every kind of makeup shade. I think that's the fun of makeup, just doing new and different things every day, just to kind of break the monotony sometimes. So anyway, I digress. So, and then the warm tone quad palette has a kind of more red liquid lipstick. The packaging of the quad looks pretty cool. To me, from pictures online, it kind of looks like the old school, like 1940s, 1930s type of old school makeup carrier case packaging, or old school like luggage cases, kind of that kind of leather look with the kind of gold buckle. So it kind of has that old school Hollywood feel to it, in my opinion. Very kind of retro glam. And it does look really pretty, but I honestly don't need any of these. I purchased so much stuff from the MAC and Padma collab, and I did purchase both quads from her Padma's collab with MAC. And in one of the quads, there's a green in it already. It looks very similar to the green that's in this Patrick Starr and MAC collab, so I really don't need that one. And the warm tone one, I do love the tones in there, but unless it's something that really stands out to me, I'm not going to get it because I already have so many warm tones. Like the Pat McGrath one really stands out to me in comparison. Like, let's say the Pat McGrath one, which is crazy expensive, but those shadows, the shades, the quality, just everything just really stands out to me. So I would rather get that on sale during the VIB sale at Sephora in November and just get a lot of use out of it, versus getting this Patrick Starr and MAC one where it will probably just end up sitting in my makeup drawer kind of unused for the most part because it has so much competition already in my collection from some other brands that I have a bunch of warm toned palettes that I just kind of adore. So yeah, guys, that's the end of this week's Wishlist Surpass. Hope it was helpful. Hope everything is going really well with you guys. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye, guys.